Alright guys, we're back again for yet another Bleach Brave Souls video, and I did want to make this a little bit earlier, but I figured I may as well be patient and wait to see how part 2 ends up being, and sadly not much has evolved, and I figured now is the time to pretty much talk about my entire thoughts to the 10th anniversary, and even talk about the pre-anniversary as a whole, because I didn't really get the chance to talk about it on my channel as much. And yeah, this is going to be a long video and also a bit unscripted, but I will have some points to talk about through my notepad. So with that being said, if you guys enjoy these types of videos, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and all that good stuff. This is going to be a very long video, so if you guys want to listen in while doing something IRL, or I don't know, something to watch while eating popcorn, feel free to do that. I don't mind that. But I figure that before we go ahead and start with my whole discussion about the 10th anniversary as a whole, let's just talk about the characters, because I feel like this time around, Caleb has actually done a complete 180 when it comes to all the anniversary characters that they have released by far. All 5 of the main anniversary headlining characters, and even the pre-anniversary characters, they're all amazing. Top of what they are meant to do, best in their own attributes, and they didn't fumble any single one of the characters. This isn't a scenario where you had 9th anniversary where part 1 was the best and part 2 the units didn't age the best, or 8th anniversary where you had part 1 where the characters didn't age the best, but then you had part 2 being only Yachiru Unohana that aged very well over time, or 7th anniversary where part 1 was a bit weak and then part 2 was the best banner of the entirety of the celebration. This isn't that kind of case at all. You want to pull for all 5 of these characters to do well in their own respective guild quest rotations, and their best for the attributes that they're designed for. Ichigo being the best mind character and the king for ranged human guild quest. Rukia just a bit behind Kenpachi, but she is still among the best speed characters in the game, even with her EX skill being bugged. I'm gonna talk about that as we go through the video. And of course the best for melee Stern Ritter. She just completely gaps True Shikai and Lil Toto, it's not even funny. Jushiro, best power unit in the game, completely replaces Zambieta and is a very great character. Just a bit behind 10th anniversary Ichigo, but he is definitely up there. Uryu, the Brave Battle King, he's very toxic and he does shift the meta a lot. And if you pull this guy, GG's, you basically win Brave Battles, literally. And Renji, best DPS character in the game. I've got no complaints about that. And even the pre-anniversary characters, Aizen is so goddamn good. Even though he has Frenzy too, he is still going to be a behemoth to behold for the likes of Range Captain Gilquist. And yeah, even though I don't have the likes of Byakuya here, he is also a king for the mind attribute. Just a bit behind Ichigo, but he dominates Range Surmer Gilquist, which matters a lot, and it is crazy OP. So, quality-wise of the units, very, very good. The Part 1 banner, fantastic. Part 2 banner could have been a little better, but it does have some value all around. I think that they nailed the banners, at least, and the characters. That being said, let's just go on and talk about the overall celebration of the 10th anniversary, including the pre-anniversary. Because I'm not too happy with how they've been handling the content for the game as a whole this year, because it just feels like it's lacking in comparison to the 9th anniversary last year. And to have some things to talk about, I'm going to be using Ubatch's Discord server, Hueco Mundo. A lot of people asked me for the link to get access to the server, so this time around, I'm going to have it in the description down below. Just don't harass the guy, just only log in just to look at the news, and that's pretty much it. But big shoutouts to the guy, like always. So, we're going to be comparing the 10th and 9th anniversary back to back, because this literally needs to be discussed. Let's talk about the pre-anniversary first things first. The pre-anniversary last year, Caleb were very generous with what they did. They gave us a banner in which it included Mugetsu, Parasol Shunsui, and Parasol Nanao. And the great thing about this banner format is that you only needed to go to step 10, and the first step was only 50 orbs. And with that, you had a bit of discounts there. So, it didn't cost 2,200, but like around 2,150 or 2,100. I don't remember how much it costed to get to step 10, but it was a bit less expensive. And once you get to step 10, you already get the pity ticket, and you can guarantee Mugetsu, Shunsui, or Nanao of your liking. And that was a very great way to kickstart the start of the 9th anniversary celebration when we weren't even there yet. Very, very good. Very, very good. And the banner format wasn't too bad either, because these characters were just coming back as fillers and weren't too common, especially Valentine's Day Momo. I think this was the first time being featured on the banner. Grimjow, too, the first time he returned ever. Keen as well, funny enough. So there were some new characters to get along the way, even though these three were already pretty much seen in a lot of different banners, but like, you had some value. And at the end of the day, you only needed to do 10 steps, and you were basically done. You just gotta save for 9th anniversary, and you guys were pretty much done with that. So, other than that, I think that they did the pre-anniversary pretty damn nicely. And of course, during the pre-anniversary, we did indeed also get a free 1000-Year Blower single. Now, for us, during the arrival of this 10th anniversary, we did get this during the 100 million download celebration, but that was it. Besides that, we haven't gotten anything besides this free single until later on. And then, of course, you would see the regular free seasonal multis and the regular premium multis. They did this celebration because Brave Souls was coming to the Nintendo Switch and the Xbox One or Xbox Series X, so that way you guys could pretty much play the game on those two different platforms. The only negative is that, once again, you could not link your KLab ID. You could only make an account linked to your Xbox account or Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Online Network ID, whatever it was called, and you can only link it to that. You cannot change accounts, which was pretty stupid. You could only re-roll until you got some really good stuff. And of course, we had the arrival of the Swimsuit Bambi's very first ever seasonal 1000-Year Blower limited banner, too, and the banner was also pretty good for its time. But more importantly, we did get to see an anniversary tower return, and it was the 8th Anni tower. Hold on, let me just go ahead and scroll down just so that way I can show you guys. Oh, and we did also get more free accessory multis. This time around, we didn't get so many of them, if I'm not wrong, but we did have a quest in which you could guarantee 5-star accessories, so I guess it kind of does balance out. Hold on, let me just go down. There we go. This was what I was looking for. The 8th anniversary tower did return when we had the pre-anniversary, and of course, the month after that, during August, we had the entire 9th anniversary tower to pretty much tackle on. So yeah, obviously you would have the same rewards of being able to get 500 orbs and that kind of sort. So yeah, other than that, the pre-anniversary last year was just way better to do overall compared to the 10th anniversary. Alright, now let's just go to the present year of 2025 and talk about the pre-anniversary this time around and just completely discuss this as a whole. Now, in my opinion, this year they did nail the units a lot better compared to last year, because unfortunately Mugetsu aged out pretty fast as a unit as soon as we got Nightmare permanently available to do, and only Shunsui ended up aging better because he was the NAD character of the banner at the end of the day. Now, that being said, during this year, we did have Senkaimon get completely revamped with the towers being permanent, where the first time they would reset 1 month and you would be able to get the towers available again to get the missions, and then they pretty much decided to have set dates in which you would be able to do a tower a week and get the orbs out of it. So I did not mind that at first, but considering this time around, there is a bit of a controversy. We're going to talk about that later on, once we're done with discussing the pre-anniversary. So, we got 6th anniversary Aizen, godly power character, like I stated before, 2nd best power unit in the game, and is a god for ranged captain. And Byakuya, 2nd best mind unit in the game, is god for ranged armored. I don't need to say anything else. They did the social media campaign in which you would get a 6-star, which isn't a selector, and it would just be any random Aizen or Byakuya, not including the anniversary version, nor the anniversary remake of the character. So this was a bit of a downgrade overall, and the most very disappointing thing was the fact that it was a 7-step garbage format banner, meaning that you could go 2,000 orbs deep, not get the unit. You could go 5,000 orbs deep, not get the unit. The point is, you could easily get shafted on this banner and not get the units or get lucky. The problem here with this type of banner format is that there is no pity, and it really did not help at all, and this was just a huge fumble for what they did for these two characters. And it didn't help that they made the fillers ridiculously bad. Like, what is this? Visored Ichigo and Grimjow? You're not using them. White Ichigo, yeah, okay, he's good in Limit Breaker, but that's just about it. 8th Anni Ichigo is bad. Quincy Ichigo, only usages in Limit Breaker, but that's only when the rules favor him. We have several better characters to use now. It's not even funny. Ulquiorra sucks. Uryu really dependent on Limit Breaker. This Ichigo sucks. This Ichigo needs a resurrection, and as of right now, he sucks. This Ichigo, he got a resurrection. He has a great link, but he fucking sucks as a character. So it's like, yeah, it's an anniversary banner with anniversary characters, but not a lot of people wanted this kind of banner. People wanted characters that were more recent to pull. Like, the Ichigo and Ulquiorra banner was way better because at least you had the Zenith banner format, and you also had Tosho and Gin return as fillers, which was just way better. Even though the characters were significantly weaker than Aizen and Byakuya, they had a much better celebration. The 100 million download celebration was better than the pre-anniversary, for Christ's sake. And the only good thing about it is that they gave us a 5-star ticket in which you could pick 9th anniversary Kenpachi, Remy, and, of course, Mugetsu of your choosing. Now, let's just go over the content and compare it to the 9th anniversary. So, let's just go ahead and go back to 2024 once more and just talk about it. Okay, so here we are with the 9th anniversary and what they did last year. So obviously the banner was very good back then and the characters were amazing. I don't think we need to discuss this all too much. You guys know if you guys have been playing during that time. And they also had the roadmap up until the 10th anniversary, and we've pretty much gotten everything that we needed to get, minus the extreme co-op improvements. That's the last thing that we need to get. But we already got to the Brave Battle revamp and a new quest for the accessories, which was to get the accessories to 5-star plus. And choose a 6-star. I mean, it was already not too good, even in this year, so we're not going to talk about that too much. And of course, we were still getting the regular seasonal free multis and the premium multis, but there was a bit more to it at the end of the day. They introduced Soul Puzzle as well, so there was a separate game to be able to play as well. And yeah, we pretty much got around the same stuff, but there was a little bit more to it compared to the 10th anniversary. We had some attribute selection banners, but there was a lot more, like you guys will see in a good minute. Now, thankfully through the celebration, we still gotten ourselves the double move sources. When you complete the point event, you would pretty much get a power special move source to use on any given character, and then once you log in for a set amount of days, you would get a speed special move source to use on whatever speed character that was available to you. Obviously, the best one being 9th anniversary Kenpachi, or otherwise being Oetsu in that kind of case. Around this time, we too did get the special time limited guild quest, in which they did buff up the difficulty. And back then, this was way harder compared to now. If you were to tackle on the special time limited guild quests, you could still beat it with the other characters. Like, let's say you did not have 10th anniversary Ichigo, you could still beat it with Byakuya. Albeit, dupes will need to be invested, and it will require a ridiculous amount of RNG. Back then, you could not even clear this, and we didn't even have extra waves. But more importantly, during this time, they actually gave us a little bit more orbs. But yeah, the only benefit I'm giving to the 10th anniversary is that you didn't have to log in for a set amount of days to get the special move source. Second one, because you only needed to log in during the last few days of the anniversary countdown celebration to get the first move source, and then do the point event and you would get the second move source. So that's it. Going further down, we did get the same regular co-op quest like this year, but that being said, because they did have an anniversary tower planned, we did indeed get the 9th anniversary tower. Now, the crazy thing about this, which I did like, was that it was divided into 4 different tiers. You had the first tower during the 25th, and lasted up until the 31st, and then the second tower from the 31st to the 9th, and then the third tower from the 9th to the 19th, and then the final tower during the 19th up until the 31st, up until the end of the anniversary, which, in my opinion, was very good. I personally did like what they did. It was a different kind of approach. It's something similar to what we're getting now with these endowment towers, but a bit better if you guys ask me. I don't remember the orb count, but more or less it was around that kind of similar number. The only difference is that the orbs were spread out in between the weeks, but you would still get... actually, you'd get more orbs, too. Yeah, that's crazy, yeah. Way more. Way more than now, which is crazy to think about. So, yeah. This was very nice, and the fact that they did not return this tower... Considering this now, we're currently on the 6th of August, and this week is going to be completely dead. There's not going to be a single Calmon tower that is going to be getting refreshed, and this would have been the perfect opportunity to bring back one of the older towers just to get orbs out of, but they chose not to do that for no freaking reason, and I'm going to get into that in a good minute. But this right here, this was extra content to do during the 9th anniversary that the 10th Anni didn't really have, and you would take a bit more time into clearing this compared to the current towers that we get, because this feels too much like a regular end-of-month celebration. That's the thing. Then we had the questionnaire. Everything else was pretty much the same, the resurrections, and yeah, pretty much. For being able to complete the special time limited guild quest, it was 150 orbs. So it was way more upon beating it. Yeah, that's a significant difference compared to 95 orbs, alright. But going further down, here is what else we had. Okay, so this was part 2 of the anniversary. Obviously, the characters did not age too good at all. Stajin got aged out super fast. It was not even funny. Oh, sure, he was great upon coming out, but once we started getting the EX waves and Nightmare permanently available, the lack of Killer Plus really was slowing down this character, and Soifon aged really good despite not having Guard Break and despite having an SA2 that cannot inflict status ailments. So there's that to take into consideration. But going further down, here's what else that we had that currently this 10th anniversary is not doing, which in my opinion is pissing me off. We had a lot of different free multis which were featuring 1000-year blower characters. Alright? Yeah, now, look at it this way. I know Yama and Chad have aged out, but you still had the possibility of being able to get 1000-year blower characters from this given free multi. Like, Yuha was there, and funny enough, you can still use Yuha now to still being able to paralyze Uryu, if you can get lucky. And you would need to put dodge on this character. That being said, not the most consistent Brave Battle character, but still, you guys get the point. You guys still had the chance of being able to pull this Yama, Retsu, Ichibe, Chad, Yuha, Yugrim. Yeah, we had free multis featuring 1000-year blower characters, which was the first of its kind outside of the free single. But that was not the only thing. We had different free multis as well. Now, given the fact that we could only do 5 multis, and you only needed to get to step 5 to guarantee one, this was still really good. And then we had an epic raid selection too, which once again featured 1000-year blower characters. Granted, it did have some premiums and seasonal characters in the mix, but this was not too bad. And most importantly, this banner had a character that was recent, not too long ago when this banner dropped, Shuhei. Shuhei came out in like, what was it, February mid-month? And he's already in this banner for free. If you got him, that was still like a Linkstop potion link to get, and that was before farming was officially killed off. And from this banner, I got my final copy of Eburn, and I also got Halloween Momo, which was new, and was still very good to use, when farming was still relevant. So, yeah. Once again, only 5 free multis, but still, this was better than what we're currently experiencing now, which is crazy to even think about. A lot of different orders, some guild quest selection banners. Let's just go further down. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, but you also had the selector tickets for every single attribute, for power, technique, speed, heart, and mind. Now granted, they were all older characters, but for new players getting into the game, you could just pick any one of the characters that you were missing and still get orbs out of, whether it was new characters or resurrected orbs. It still had some value at the end of the day. And going further down, look at this. Another set of 1000-year blower characters, and this time it featured Ichibe and Songdu. Songdu was still very recent of a 1000-year blower character. If I remember correctly, he came out during end of month of February. So him being back in a free multi where people had the chance to pull him was actually pretty insane. If I can find it again, we also had part 3 of the anniversary. Both of the characters were really good. Can't say aged a lot better than Shinji, but Shinji was still dominant, and if you do not have VL, he is still a very good character to use in the likes of Gale Quest. Now, it's going to be a bit more difficult with the buffed GQ rotation, but you guys get the point. We'll go over anywho going further down as soon as we find... There we go. Yeah, this was the other set of free multis that you could do. Ichibei came back as a filler for the first time. Not really for the first time, but you guys get the point. You had the chance of being able to pull him. That being said, only 2,000-year blower characters this time around, but the fact that they also featured Grimmjow and Ikaku, which were also very recent, was also very good to do. So, like, yeah, having these kind of free multis, where it was only 5, I prefer them more over the usual premiums and seasonal banners that we get, where we can do free multis. So, yeah, content-wise, it was a little bit better. We did have more free multis at our disposal. And as a whole, this anniversary was very, very generous. And then we ended the anniversary with Oetsu and Tenjiro coming into the game. And then we had the huge anime celebration campaign, which was very good. Although tiresome, because we had 1,000-year blower banners back to back to back to back every single time. It was not fun. Alright, we're done with talking about the 9th anniversary. Now, let's just go ahead and jump to the present and talk about the 10th anniversary and talk about everything else. Now, like I stated before, the banners are very good. The characters are amazing. That being said, this time around, they didn't really do much. Like, the only thing that was an extra was just giving us a limit breaker quest dedicated to the 10th anniversary, which was great. Don't get me wrong. More TP, you can never go wrong with. You can still get 50 orbs. That was really, really good. I'm not going to complain about that. But going further up, so we got to talk about the special time-limited guild quest. And yeah, starting it off with the time-limited guild quest rotations as a whole. Yeah, this was still just as tough as what we had during the 9th anniversary overall. That being said, the rewards weren't as good as last year, because once you beat the GQ rotation, you would get 150 orbs. Now, how does it compare to now? We currently have still the time-limited guild quest going with the buffed up stats. Here is what you can get, okay? I'm just gonna go over to the guild quest and just show you guys real quick. So going all the way down, you get droplets, Hogyoku's wills, some potions, 5 orbs, okay, some super potions, some 4 to 5 star tickets, essence scrolls. We're now at 15 orbs, some quintessence scrolls, 20 orbs, essence scroll, 35 now, okay, and more essence scrolls. Now we're at 65, okay, let's just keep on going up, 70 orbs, yeah, 75, 80, 85, 90, just 90 orbs. The only thing that they did slap on that I see that is a big difference compared to the regular Nightmare difficulty is just more essence scrolls, which I'm not against that. And of course, they added a secret link slot potion, but it's still nerfed. We still deserve way more orbs at the end of the day, and the fact that they just slapped on essence scrolls and called it a day with just 1 secret link slot potion, not that good. It is a downgrade compared to last year overall, so there's that for when it comes to the Nightmare Plus rotation. This was not good. I did like the Limit Breaker quest, but in my opinion, we should have had directly the easier one, just so that way a lot of new players getting into the game can have an easier time playing it, and you would still get... Yeah, it's a bit less orbs, but you would still get the TP needed, and yeah. We had this quest, which was nice. Do it once, you get a guaranteed 5-star accessory, not including the Soma Fixers. That was the only thing that we could not get our hands on, realistically speaking. And we'll talk about this later. We'll talk about this later, because this is going to be part of my rant. Attribute Tree Grounds, basically the same stuff. Yeah, 10th anniversary. And we did get news about the co-op quest. Except, here's the problem. I think that this quest should have been out the moment the anniversary celebration started. Instead, we're still waiting on that, and there's no date yet. Just that it's supposedly coming this month, and that's really it. And there's not much to know. I'm hoping this is still a farmable quest at the end of the day, but still. And yeah, the EX stuff, we'll talk about that in a good minute. Like, the EX abilities all work for the characters, except for Rukia, where it's not working as intended still. So yeah, here, yeah, we still do get like the regular free premiums and seasonal multis, but it's a lot less stuff, and we did get a 5-star ticket, which was any given character from like freaking 2016, 2017, up until the 10th anniversary characters. And yeah, here's another thing that the 10th Anni had over the 9th Anni, the special exchange shop, which wasn't too bad, I'll be honest. It's just that once you're done with it, what then? You just wait for more medals to come to the shop and into the game, and you just hope for more stuff to come out? Like, is that it? Like, yeah, I'm happy that you guys are giving out a free Summon Fixer, since these are incredibly rare to get. The T-sets, they're just okay now. Nothing too crazy. Secret Link Stop Potions I'll take. These are nice, fun little collection accessories that you can pick up, realistically speaking, but not much. They did give out this choose a 6-star seasonal summons ticket, where it's pick one, get any character that you want guaranteed, and then this is just a regular get any potential character from the start of the game up until the 10th anniversary, more than likely, even though the pool was not confirmed. Yeah, this was kind of the only other freebie that you could get, except, it's not that valuable, to be honest. Like, if you guys were to pick characters that you need to get, it's just this Shunsui was still really good, and even then, with Rukia and Yumichika doing better, and not just having Shunsui in the team, his link is still amazing. Full stam normal attack damage, you can go wrong with that at all. Mashiro, great for buffing Jushiro and Bankai Senjumaru and Aizen, so there's that. This Tech Jushiro is going to be very pivotal for Renji, because he does give 20% more strong attack damage and 40% damage to element-affected enemies, protect Soul Reapers. And that's pretty much it. It's just resurrected characters, a couple farmers here and there, and that's it. Now, unless they're adding more stuff to it, it's kind of disappointing, if you know what I mean, right? You guys seeing the issue? We're getting a lot less stuff, which is kind of... it's making them a bit greedy. It really is. And going back to this, we did get the questionnaire. I didn't bother making a video about this because Caleb is not listening at all to our complaints, which is pretty freaking stupid. We did get the same typical co-op quest, Limit Break request. This was the second one that we got, which was very nice. That's the only credit I'm giving towards them. But, like, no extras in Common Tower, no return of the 9th anniversary towers, and right now we just have a very dry week ahead of us, really. And going further down, yeah, we get epic rates, same typical free multis, but it's like, bro, I'd like to get something else besides these same ones, right? And yeah, other than that, it's really not that much better than the 9th anniversary. The 9th anniversary had just a lot more stuff to it. Even though, yeah, there isn't, like, any extra game mode, but, like, Path to Unity, in my opinion, should have just been out day one. Really. It should have been out day one. And now I think we're done with comparing the 10th anniversary to the 9th anniversary. There's nothing else that we need to talk about. Now, let's talk about the big elephants in the room, which is what's been getting us pissed off already. So, let's just start off with the EX skill for Rukia being bugged. Okay? Let's just go ahead and get right into it. When they introduced the EX skills, they have stated that they were separate skills. They would be able to multiply into whatever base 6-star ability that they would have, and just make the overall character stronger. In the case of Ichigo and Jusho. For Ichigo's case, because he has 100% Berserker, once you get to the EX skill 5 out of 5, that Berserker is a lot stronger than you may think. It's actually 160%. That is getting added, and it is a separate multiplier at the end of the day. It's not something that gets added, which is crazy to even think about. So hold on, I'm just going to pull up the 10th anniversary Zenith Summons. There we go. So, let's just go over down to the EX skills, because this is what has been specified. They are more powerful versions of existing skills, with EX added to the skill name. Besides having EX added to their name, these skills exhibit the same effects as their non-EX counterparts. However, they have 3 unique characteristics that set them apart from existing skills and soul traits. Skill effects increase with the EX skill level. Basically, they become stronger once you get more dupes invested into that character. So, yeah, I don't need to specify anything else. And they can be inherited through specific link slots. So, you just need to put them at the first link, and there you guys go. you'll be able to inherit it. And here's the major thing. Skills and EX skills are treated separately. Even if a regular skill and an EX skill share the same type or effects, they are treated as separate skills when it comes to activation conditions and damage calculations. For example, if a character has a Team Party skill like Team Party increased strong attack damage, another skill of the same type cannot be activated at the same time. However, an EX skill of the same type is considered to be separate, and as such can be activated at the same time as the normal skill. And now for every single character, we've seen it work. Ichigo is completely fine and perfectly functional. With Jushiro, it works fine, perfectly functional. Uryu, same thing. Renji, same thing. It's just with Rukia that is a bit of a problem, and we're gonna dive right into that. So here we are. This is from Multiplicative, and already Tony and Aaron has talked about this in a different video, but I figured I may as well talk about it now during my rant video. And yeah, this is where I'm going to be talking about the other problems, being the problem with photo print in round 4, the EX skill for Rukia, and the shadow buffs to the guild quests. So, as you guys already know, with the special time limited guild quest, it is a lot worse compared to last year's, and you guys know the drill already. So, let's just go over Rukia's EX skill first. Currently, Rukia EX skill is said in the notice to be a separate multiplier skill, which after several tests, it is confirmed to actually be a similar additive skill. That is why I have talked about it in my showcase that unfortunately, this was additive, not multiplicative. If Rukia's EX skill was multiplicative, right now she would be better than 10th Anniversary Ichigo and Jushiro, and would basically be top 4 best damaging units in the game alongside 9th Anni Kenny, Renji, and Ichigo. The end of year Ichigo. Okay, let's just go back to reading this and talk more so about this in detail. In the backstage, Caleb doubled and tripled down that Rukia's skill was effectively a separate multiplier and working as intended, and that was the initial contact on Sunday 27th. And we have another thread talking about this, so we'll just go ahead and pull it up. So here is Rukia's EX skill, which talks about it more in detail. So going over how Rukia is being tested right now in game. Now, this is not the best kind of setup. This is just to casually test the character out and then bring up the damage calcs via Urahara's shop, which is the website that is being used for damage calcs. They put on Rukia any random Yuki with 14% recharge links, and this is a max transcended Rukia with 3-star SP, level 13 SP, level 13 focus, and level 13 attack, with the EX skill completely maxed out. And in-game, here's what it's looking like. This is the damage that is being projected, and as you guys can see, we're looking at a good 28,350 in terms of hits. Times 12, of course, this is going to be 340 in total, because you got to factor in Frenzy 3 and everything else. And when you go ahead and go into the site itself, the supposed damage multiplier, yeah, here's the same setup, okay, with everything set, max transcended, level 13 SP, focus and attack with 3-star SP, with the SP boost being active, the 100% plus the EX skill. This is supposed to be what we're getting, but instead we're not. And then with the EX skill working as an additive bonus rather than being multiplicative, yeah. It's around more so the same initial damage calc. So, yeah, not good. Not good. And the fact that Caleb is refusing to communicate this to us at all when people have tested this out is not good. And now here is Ichigo's case, where his EX skill is being multiplied into the base abilities when it comes to using him. Like, he just put on him a random Yuki and 14% recharge links right across the bat. This time around, not maxed out, with level 10 SP, focus, and attack, and the EX skill is only at special move level 3, so his EX Berserker multiplier is at 25%, and the damage that is being projected is 17,530, and of course, keeping Frenzy 3 factored in, yeah, he's hitting around 210,360 damage. That is what you guys are going to be looking at. And when it came to looking at the damage calcs, right, it is projecting the intended damage multiplier, 217k. And that is with EX Berserker being applied. So, yeah. And then here's some footage of Kenny of using Rukia with or without her. So, this is just a completely naked Kenny with just the Yuki being tested and just getting the SP boost in. Okay? Alright, just take a good clean look. And, yeah. 7,097, 7,733 as the max. And then this is Kenpachi with any given 40% spiritual pressure boost link being in there. In this case, it's Masaki with 40%. So, taking a look at what it is, of course, this is a regular soul trait. It's additive, not multiplicative. And, yeah, here you guys go. It is a bit of an increase, but because it's additive and not multiplicative, yeah, you guys can already see it. And this time around, Rukia is being added in. Alright, there's Rukia's EX skill, and it's being tested out. Just take a good clean look for yourselves. Alright? It's worse than Masaki's. It's worse than Masaki's soul trait, when it should be better. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're getting recharged still, but the fact that it's not being multiplied into the base SP boost, yeah, that's a problem. That is not good. Not good. And K-Lab has not even addressed the issue at all. But here's what they did, though. They actually have communicated to us the bug compensation for when you cannot clear a quest. Which is crazy. And the stupid thing is that not everyone is getting this. Any players who used a character with EX status element spiritual pressure boost in team, or as a character link, and attempted to but could not clear a daily quest, event quest, or power-up quest between the 22nd of July up until the 23rd, they get 25 orbs. And it's only the players that could not clear it that are getting compensated. Not everyone. And they didn't even address the whole thing about the EX skill not being able to multiply. That's just so stupid. I don't understand why. It's ridiculous. Alright, so the next part of the video to talk about is going to be the fourth round of the photo print. Now, I already made a video about this, but I'm going to reiterate this again because I think that K-Lab has been extremely scummy, and it's just not funny. Now, every single photo round that we've had up until this point, whatever character they advertised, we were able to pick up the character and guarantee it. With photo print round 1, we had the 1000-Year Blower Parasol, Momo, Shinji, and Veruca to pick and get for free, which was crazy. It was insane. It was a great way to start the photo print rounds, and it was a way to also coincide with what Japan has been doing with 7-Eleven, just to be able to get these nice little photos just to have around in your wall or anything. This was just their way of being able to add it into the game, and the good thing about this is that it was a selector ticket and you can pick anyone you want. Here, they just decided to falsely advertise the 10th anniversary characters to be among the characters that you can pick, being 2nd anniversary Ichigo, 3rd Anni Ulk, Quincy Ichigo, 5th Anni Ichigo and Byakuya, 6th Anni Aizen, and 7th anniversary Ichigo and Uryu. So yeah, it was basically an anniversary selector ticket, with the only exception that you cannot pick up their remade characters, and you cannot pick up the canon anniversary characters. So Mugetsu, VL Ichigo, and who else? 8th Anni Ichigo and White, and 9th anniversary Kenpachi and Remy were not included into this. But if these 10th anniversary characters were in here, God, it would have been so good. But it isn't, making this by far the worst photo print round of all time. The fact that they falsely advertised the characters to be in this ticket and you cannot even select them is just extremely scummy as hell. Very, very scummy. Just the fact that they even false advertised this at all. And I'm gonna get some people that are saying, yeah, do you expect K-Lab to give an anniversary character for free? I don't fucking know. The fact that they went out of the way to do so many goddamn scummy things, like making Aizen and Byakuya's banner a 7-step format. And the fact that we haven't had that much content to do during the 10th anniversary. And also, do you guys remember the point event nerf that we had for no apparent reason? That's us, the community, fought back towards Caleb, and they finally addressed the thing and fixed it. I don't know. I think we deserve a free copy of the 10th anniversary character, especially now that they're gone. Like, you cannot get these characters. And the crazy thing is that, like it or not, these characters are in the fucking premium pool. If we can get 9th anniversary Kenpachi and Grimmy for free, just like that, we can do the same for the 10th anniversary characters, because at the end of the day, when you pull for your summons tickets, 5-star tickets, BBS tickets, you still have a 0.009% chance of being able to get Ichigo and Rukia from here. Just like Byakuya and Aizen. So, like, I literally don't see why they freaking false advertise this. They're not going to be available to summon on for until December. And guess what? They're more than likely going to be back in a garbage 7-step banner format, right? With 1000-year blower characters coming back as fillers. And you don't have pity. Just like how Grammy and Kenpachi came back. And considering we did get Grammy, Kenny, or Mugetsu, and we can choose them for free, there's literally no reason to do this kind of scummy thing at the end of the day. I just think it's really fucking stupid. It really is. And you can give them away because at the end of the day, they're premium. You can still pull these characters from tickets. So why not? Why not? What happened to the generosity that was last year, Caleb? Hello? Pretty freaking stupid. When the 100 million download celebration was the better celebration throughout this entire year compared to the 10th Annie. This just feels too much like a regular end-of-month celebration with some scummy stuff in place. And speaking of scummy stuff in place, we gotta talk about the shadow-buffed GQ difficult. Alright? That is something that needs to be discussed. I don't care what we have to say about this. Alright? So, as we all know, this did return. Okay, not including Alronkar and, of course, the upcoming Range Quincy Guild Quest. But they shadow buffed Melee Espada and also Melee No Affiliation to the point that it was actually harder. With Kenny, you could no longer get 58 because it was impossible to one-shot the final boss, the first wave, with just a clean nuke. Because they decided to, on top of making a typing disadvantage, give the first boss 60 million HP. And these stats are basically similar to what Renji's Guild Quest is going to have, no? Let me just pull it up real quick. Yeah, almost similar, just a bit more, realistically speaking, which is crazy to even think about. And once again, the same problem lies in the fact that the rewards are the same, except you don't have the added essence scrolls. You don't have that extra secret link slot potion to get for leveling up your character's link slot levels past level 20. So, like, they just buffed this, they didn't say anything, and they didn't increase the rewards. Like, what are you guys doing? And they also did a shadow buff slightly Melee No Affiliation Guild Quest. Now, Ootsu was still able to disintegrate this GQ rotation as a whole. The only thing is that making it possible to one-shot with my SA3 on Boss 4 with just having the Senkaizen and 2 recharge strong attack damage at full stam lengths made it almost impossible to the point that I had to change my pattern to get a better score, like 54 seconds. So there was that. But this was still shadow buffed, just like Kenpachi. Albeit a lot less worse because lower values. You don't get to the 100 million bosses, unlike with Kenpachi, and Kenpachi started off Wave 1 with having 60 million HP. Caleb just didn't communicate to us at all. Like, this is just so bad. They're doing the same thing for the likes of next week with its GQ rotations. Like, look at this. Boss 1, 68 million HP. This is even worse than Melee Espada, too, right? Even Range Captain, they did the same thing. That's not good. That really isn't good. Like, just to go back here, right? And just see what Molly Prim has wrote. Let's just go and read it once more. Community realized there was a shadow buff in the last 2 guild quests. Now it's also going to be for fucking Melee Soul Reaper and Range Captain. This behavior, yes, it is often seen in gacha games. Communication remains the key for the community to not feel defrauded or pushed to summon unwillingly. Yes, this is very important, because otherwise it's gonna get people to summon recklessly and just waste their orbs too. And this is what they're planning to do. I recommend you guys join in on what Multiplicative and the others are planning to do, because this needs to be said. I don't think K-Lab should keep on getting away with this, because they've been way too scummy recently that I needed to make this video for a good reason. While we often see issues, mistakes, or oopsies from K-Lab, it's rare to have that many at once. This is problematic for a community action due to a divide-to-conquer strategy. Without a coordinated effort, the community feedback will not be seen as important, and K-Lab will simply brush away the concern aside and wait until the voice slowly goes silent. A good example would be one of K-Lab's answers this week, which essentially was, "It's only a few that noticed such a thing and must not be that important or noticeable," which basically means we can ignore it. Not good. Not good. What's next? First, be aware that K-Lab was notified directly about all of the following points on Monday the 28th and Wednesday the 30th, so they are aware that this action was a possibility. Next phases is to push for a new broad community action driven by the community itself. While K-Lab seems to believe that they have an upper hand right now, it's actually quite the opposite. It's the perfect time for us to remind them that it's the community that make a game succeed or not. Freaking true. In May, K-Lab asked 100 of their employees to leave voluntarily, but only 47 in July agreed. This is compromising their short-term, their downsizing plans, which means that any action we can take will have more impact right now. We might not have a live stream to loudly express our displeasure, but there's still a social media campaign around the end-of-month characters. Additionally, the monthly pass canceling is one of our weapons, especially since we just closed the 10th anniversary, and it will be felt by K-Lab more heavily now than it was in April due to their compromised immediate downsizing. And they have already started 3 days ago with the bug fix push. So the first plan of action is to message K-Lab directly through their inquiry, Discord, or email, and just tell them that this is not working, and just to let them know about it. And there's a way to write it in English and Japanese, and of course you just provide the info towards K-Lab in regards to the issue that Rukia has. And of course, in regards to the shadow buffs, like I stated before, they need to be more transparent about the GQ values. Keep the difficulties from normal to very hard unchanged so it gives a ramp to the new players, and if they want to increase difficulty, instead of shadow buffing, they can add even more extra waves, or use the 5th guild plus difficulty level being ultimate that is waiting in the database since 2 years now. And yeah, this is literally what the community has been doing. If you guys want to join them, I definitely recommend doing so, because I think that K-Lab is being extremely scummy right now when it comes to their community. With not being transparent, with not communicating anything about anything. Like, we just want them to at least admit that they're wrong, that it was a mistake to include the 10th Anni units into the photo print via the actual artwork itself, and the GQ stuff. Like, honestly, this is something that they should just be doing right now. Anywho, I think that K-Lab needs to wake the fuck up. I don't think that they should keep on doing this, because otherwise this game is not gonna last very long, because yeah, I haven't even been spending that much money in the game. I only literally pay for the passes. I only bought the €7 ticket pack from their website, and besides that, not much at all. Like, if I were to show you guys how I am with my orbs, let me just show you guys my purchase history, just to give you guys a good idea. Yeah. This is literally from the fact that I only get the passes. I have not bought any of the overly expensive €85 packs in like a really long time. The only time I ever bought a character pack was basically for the likes of a Cancer and Road Helibo, and yeah, been barely buying anything at all. Just to give you guys a good idea. Not even through Tabjoy nowadays, because I've just been keeping myself on a clear saving path for the anniversary. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Very long video, I do apologize. This is just something to listen in while doing something, and yeah, I just needed to get this out because I'm not liking what they're doing. This game probably is not going to last that long if Caleb continues to ignore the player base and do this kind of scummy thing. Like, honestly, I just think that this anniversary is a bit of a step down compared to the 9th Anni. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you guys have enjoyed it, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and all that good stuff. This has been your boy, the Death Smasher, and I'm officially signing out. So take care, lads. Bye. Sayonara. Ciao, ciao.